This is a beginner mat Pilates class geared towards beginners, so all you'll need is a mat. A thicker one is a good idea, but a yoga mat will work fine too. If you have a stretching strap, that can be helpful. If you don't, no worries. A towel folded up is also useful as well. And then as always, have some water to drink. If any of these exercises cause you discomfort or pain, please skip them and move to the next option or wait for the next exercise. I will offer levels within each exercise as well. Only do what's within your comfort zone, and always make sure you get technique down first before you advance the moves. All right, so we're gonna lay down on our mat to begin with. Hands down by your sides, feet on the floor. We're gonna take an inhale, and we're gonna exhale, press that back into the mat. Tilt the hips, press the back down, and then we're gonna inhale, return back to a neutral position. So our neutral position, there's a little space between your lower back and the mat, and you're sort of balancing a little bit on your tailbone. And we're gonna do that again. Inhale here, and then we're gonna exhale, tilt the hips. You can see my hands pointing toward the wall behind my head, and then we're going to inhale, come back, hands point toward the ceiling. So that's the hip tilt action I want you to have. Exhale, and do that again. We're starting to engage the abdominal muscles. We're starting to warm up that spine. And exhale, pull everything in, and inhale, release back to neutral. And inhale, and exhale. And Pilates, you can exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. And inhale. Good. We're doing about 8 to 10 of each of these exercises today, approximately. Exhale. And inhale. And this is a good time to take a quick check on those neck and shoulder muscles. It's a great opportunity to relax the neck and shoulders. No tension in there. All the tension is in that midsection as you press that back down into the floor, into the mat, and inhale, return. Just give me one more of these. Exhale, and inhale back to that neutral position. Good. Next, we're going to take a progression of that move. We're going to exhale, draw that belly into the spine, flatten the back out onto the mat. And you're going to start to curl your hips up. We're coming up off the floor into a glute bridge, creating more space between that back and the mat. And then we're going to inhale at the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, roll down, pressing slowly, one vertebra at a time. Those hips are the very last thing to come down back to the ground. Very slowly all the way back down. And then we're going to inhale at the bottom, hands by your side. Exhale, tuck those hips, press the back all the way up, nice and slow and controlled, making sure the neck and shoulders are relaxed. Inhale at the top, and then we're going to exhale, roll back down. All the way. And hips are the last thing to come down. So this is a glute bridge, but we're going very slow. And you're going to roll back up because we want to feel the articulation of each vertebrae as we roll up. Nice and controlled, neck and shoulders relaxed. You can roll that neck and head side to side and slowly roll back down. Lengthening that spine out, nice and controlled. So we're starting to now activate those glute muscles, those hip stabilizers. And we're continuing to warm up that back with a nice mobility move here, opening up space between each vertebrae, lengthening that spine as you roll down. Nice space, exhale all the way. And we're still engaging those abdominal muscles as well. They're working to help us do this articulation of the spine and hips. All the way up, good. And roll back down, nice and slow, all the way. Good. Okay, let's hug those knees in, take a little breather here, just kind of rock side to side, release and relax. That should feel nice. Good. All right, take those feet to the floor. I'm gonna move my stuff out of the way. We're gonna take those feet to the floor, knees bent. just gonna take those knees side to side. You take your arms out to the side and let those knees fall to one side. This is a nice hip mobility exercise, also getting the spine going in a different direction. So good spine mobility movement here. Just gently, kind of like wiper blades, knees go side to side, whatever range of motion is comfortable for you. Nice and easy. Good job. This one should feel really good. You might get a little pop or a click out of the back or the hips. Getting things moving. Exhale. Good. Just relax. Relax the neck and shoulders again. We're not working here. We're just moving. All right. So back to that neutral spine. Back to feet on the floor, knees bent. Next move we're going to take is hip circles. We're going to start out with knee circles first. So for knee circles, you're going to take one knee, actually let me do the other leg. We're going to take one knee up, foot off the floor, and we're going to imagine like we're going to draw tiny circles with that knee on the ceiling. So tiny circles with the knee on the ceiling. We're going to go 5 in each direction. And so we're working on this one, we're working hip mobility. But you're still engaging your abdominal muscles. So before we start moving, I want you to think about knitting the front of your rib cage closed, engaging those abdominal muscles from the top all the way to the bottom. Belly draws into your spine, and a little bit of pressure on that, pressing the back into the mat. So you can take one hand on your knee and the other hand out for stability, and you're going to draw a circle in one direction. 1, 2, and don't make that circle big. 3, because the idea is that everything is stable. 4, we're adding movement here, and 5, and then go the other direction. So this is level 1 of this exercise. So if you have never done this exercise before, then you're going to stay at this level 1, because what I want you to feel is that mobility in the hip, freely moving while everything else is stable. Last one. Good, and place that foot on the floor. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, very simply. We're going to check in between here. Engage abdominals, belly to the spine, close the front of the rib cage, relax the neck and shoulders. And then take the other arm out to the side, lift that foot, knee in your hand. Now, if you want to try the next level, if you've done this video before, taken my class before, you can extend that leg up, okay, and do toe circles on the ceiling instead of knee circles. That's up to you. I'm going to show you the leg circles, okay? But if you haven't done the leg circles before and you feel like that's a little more than you want to take on, if you're starting to get a lot of movement in the hips, go back to the knee circles or make those leg circles really small. And go the other direction. So we're doing 5 on each direction again. Keep those abdominal muscles engaged. 2, small circles. 3, 4, feel that looseness in the hip. And 5, good, and release. Excellent. Okay, very nice. So next, we're going to take your hands down by your side. We're going to pick the feet up off the floor. Now, this exercise is toe taps. We're going to keep the knees over the hips. The biggest thing that usually happens here is knees come up towards your chest. That does make it easier to keep the back flat on the floor, but we're challenging our abdominal muscles here. We're trying to keep the back on the floor while the knees are over the hips at 90 degrees. So check yourself, either mirror or just kind of feel that angle, like, okay, are my knees here? All right, let's move them here. Keep 90, 90, okay? Now, we're gonna keep that 90-degree bend in the knees, and we're gonna take one foot and tap the foot down toward the ground. You're reaching towards the edge of the mat, but we're not straightening out the knee, okay? That knee stays at 90, and we're gonna alternate legs. Tap toe, and come up. As you tap that toe, you will feel your back wanting to come off the floor, but you don't want it to. We want to keep that back pressing down into the mat, pressing down into the floor, belly into the spine. And this is where we can use our breath work, right? So we can exhale as we tap down and inhale to return. Exhale and inhale. Good. Exhale, keep pressing that back in and inhale. Go slow and check in the middle. Am I keeping my back on the floor? Are my knees creeping up towards my chest? Oop, mine were a little bit. Keep them over the hips. Keep that balance on. Our abdominal muscles are working full time in this move. Exhale. Inhale. Relax the neck and shoulders. Put that tension into the abs. Exhale. Good. You got this. Exhale. Keep everything strong and stable. Press that back. Do a back check. Press that back down. Exhale. And we're going to do one more. Exhale. And in and relax. Good. Whew, nice. That's a tough one. That is a tough one for sure. You can kind of rock side to side. Relax that back. If you had any back pain on that move, we need to make sure we're keeping that back pressing onto the floor. And you may need to modify that toe tap so that you're not touching the floor. Maybe to start, all you're doing is extending that leg a little bit till you feel the back trying to come up and keep it up higher. You could also modify that exercise by keeping one foot on the floor, tapping the toe down, coming back up, and doing 5 on each leg, just like that. So you can get that movement and keep the back on the floor. So that's an option as well. All right, next we're gonna move to a single leg stretch. All right, so single leg stretch is gonna be with one knee in towards your chest, and then the other leg is gonna extend. Now, the height at which you have that leg extended is your modification. So you can keep that leg extended higher. That makes it easier, again, to keep that back on the floor. You can lower the leg a little. That's gonna make it harder, but you're gonna increase that intensity and difficulty. And then, of course, the lower you go, the harder it's gonna be to keep that back pressing down to the floor. So it's up to you. Find your position that you can comfortably keep the abdominals in and up. Keep the abs pressed on the back pressed on the floor. Now, before we start this exercise, we have another option. This is the option to add a chin tuck into this exercise. Okay, so bringing your chin to your chest as you do this exercise adds another element. If you feel like you might get some neck discomfort or neck pain, you can keep your head and neck on the floor. If keeping your head and neck on the floor is also a little difficult, maybe because your neck feels like it's strained, this is where a towel can come in handy. You can try resting your head on a towel, and that can give you a little more comfort and kind of align your spine, right? So you've got options here. Okay, so we're gonna start out, I'll demonstrate without the chin to the chest for the first few. And we're gonna do 8 of these. Exhale, we're gonna bring that knee to the chest, back pressing flat into the floor. Inhale to switch, exhale to stretch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This is 3. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This is 4. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to bring my chin to my chest to demonstrate that option, making sure for you that you are choosing the right option. And if you're feeling that back pulling off the mat, then you can extend that leg higher to the ceiling and try to keep that back on the floor in that way. If your neck starts to bother you, then you can rest your head back on the floor. That's up to you. Almost there. I did lose a little bit of count there. I think we're almost done. It feels like we're almost done. Let's take one more on each leg. Exhale. Really pull that belly in. Exhale. And let's relax. Whew, okay, I know my abs could use a break there. Good job. All right, so if you need a little water break, take one. But next up, you can pause the video anytime. Next up, we're going to take a straight leg stretch. So this is similar to the one we just did, but we're going to scissor the legs instead of bringing a knee to your chest. So this is the next step in the exercise we just did. If the one we just did was challenging enough for you, stay with that one. You can do it again, or you can take a little break. If you're ready for the next level, you can try it. But of course, extending the legs is going to make it more challenging. And we're going to add a hamstring stretch with this action of extending the leg as well. So this exercise serves multiple purposes, which is why I love it. But please only do it if you feel like you can do it properly. So one leg extended. We're going to take the other leg and extend it as well. Belly to the spine, back pressing to the mat. You have the option again to keep that towel behind your head if that makes it more comfortable. All right. You also have the option of bringing your chin to your chest. All right. If you feel like this bothers the neck, please rest your head back down on the mat. Exhale, pull that leg to your chest and extend the other leg only as low as you can, keeping your back tucked in, back pressing on the floor. Inhale to switch. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to switch. Exhale, stretch. So carve out that middle, scoop out that midsection. Exhale to stretch. Inhale. 3, good. And I'll show both. I'm going to rest my head back down for a little break here. Good. Exhale. And 4. Going nice and controlled, nice and slow. You want to feel those abdominal muscles. 5. Feeling a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Abdominal muscles are working. Ooh, I feel my lower part of my abdominal muscles working. Good. I'm going to bring my chin up for just a little, for the last few here. Exhale. Let's take 2 more on each leg. Exhale. You got this. Keep breathing. Last 1 on each leg. Exhale. Good. And relax. Hug those knees in. Take a little rock side to side. Good job. Breathe. Whew. Okay, that was great. We've got our next level on that exercise. So again, it's always up to you at what level you go to, but this is a double leg stretch. So this is another one of my favorites. We have options within this exercise to modify as well. So you're going to take both knees up. This time, both knees up, and they can come in over towards your chest. That's fine. We're going to bring everything in and together, reaching your hands towards your heels. Now, of course, just like the others we just did, you have the option to bring your chin to your chest. In this one, if you're wanting to try it, but your neck is a little bit tired, you can bring one hand behind your head to support your head, okay? Or bring your head back down to that resting spot. Reaching your hands towards your heels. We're going to extend both arms and legs. Just watch first. Both arms and legs extend away from center. And then you're going to exhale, bring everything, knock my water over, everything back together in the center. Okay? So the modification here is how high am I extending my legs? Just like the straight leg stretch. You can extend your legs pretty straight. Or you can extend your legs a little lower. Just a few inches makes it extra challenging to keep that lower back on the floor. What we don't want is we don't want to extend the legs and rock those hips forward and have a lot of space between your back and the mat. That's going to strain your back, all right? So only go at the level that you can while keeping your lower back pressed into that mat, into the floor. I'm going to show with chin to chest. So we're going to inhale here. Actually, we're going to take it. Sorry. We're going to inhale to extend the arms and legs. Exhale. Everything comes back together. Inhale to extend. Exhale. 2. Inhale, extend. Exhale. 3. Inhale, extend. Exhale, 4. Keep going. Inhale, we're going to 8. Exhale, 5. Inhale, I'm going to bring my head back because my neck was starting to get a little bothered. 5. If I can count and talk at the same time. Inhale and breathe. Exhale, 6. Almost there. Reaching only to the place where you can keep that back on the floor. Good. And let's take one more. Reach and exhale together. Good. Relax. Whew. Nice work. All right, so we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. We're going to do an exercise, a couple exercises that you're probably familiar with from other forms of exercise. First, we're going to start with cat-cow. So this is a great one for spine mobility. You can be on your hands if your wrists are okay with that. You can be up on your fists if you need to for your wrists. It's up to you. But you're going to round your back out. Exhale, take a nice stretch. Ooh, yeah, that should feel good after all that work we just did. Relax the tops of your feet onto the mat. Then we're going to inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the abdominal muscles. And you're going to exhale again, round it out. Just cat-cow, nice and easy, opening everything up, relaxing the neck and shoulders. And just do a couple more of those, whatever feels good here. You can move side to side if it feels good. You can make some circles in that cat pose. Doesn't have to be so rigid. And then relax, stretch those abdominal muscles out. That should feel good. They've worked really hard so far. Good, all right, come back to that quadruped position, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're gonna do bird dog. Bird dog is a classic exercise, really, really great for the back, really great for abdominal stability as well. And we're also strengthening in those hip stabilizers, we're strengthening those glutes. I'm gonna come to my fists because it's more comfortable for me. We're gonna reach opposite arm and leg out. When we do this, we're not trying to go super high. We're just trying to be controlled, keep the shoulders and hips square to the floor, and then come back down. This is gonna challenge your balance. You're gonna find that you're like, whoa, and that's okay. That's what we're working on here as well. So we're gonna reach, arm and leg reach out, and come in. You do have options if this feels like it's too much to do the arm and leg. You can keep the leg and arm low to the ground and reach the toe out and tap the ground for a little more stability. Or you can just do just the leg, or you can just do just the arm. It's up to you. You've got options. So you can use them. You can take out any piece you need. I'll show you a little bit of both. Good. Let's take one more on each side. Reach. And reach. Good. Let's sit it back into child's pose here. So separate those knees, sit those hips back to your heels. Reach those arms forward, relax, stretch out the back. Exhale. Good, good, good. Breathe. All right. Coming forward to your stomach, all the way to the mat. We're going to take a little mini cobra. Lift and lengthen. Stretch out those abdominal muscles. Gently extend that back. Good job. All right, next we're going to go into Superman. So you probably have done this exercise before. You do have the option here, if it's more comfortable for you, to use your towel. You can put the towel down as a forehead rest for your forehead on your mat. That is up to you. So we're going to come all the way down, rest the forehead on the mat. Arms are out in front or out overhead, extended. So in our Supermans here in Pilates, we're going to inhale, lift the arms and legs a couple inches off the floor. You're going to exhale as you lower down. As you lower down on that exhale, you're going to think about drawing your belly in and up off the mat. So yes, we're working abdominals even though we're laying on them. Lift and lengthen, inhale, exhale, lower. And again, inhale, lift, that's 3, Exhale, lower. Go into 8. Inhale, lift 4. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift 5. Exhale. Keep lengthening. Keep that chin slightly tucked. 6. So your neck is neutral. You don't need to look up. 7. Exhale, lower. You know how to do this one. And last one, 8. Keeping that chin tucked. And lower. Good. Relax. Whew. All right. Now we're progressing Superman. This is a Pilates move. It is going to be, it's called swimming. Similar to Superman, we're going to lift the arms and legs up off the floor, but we're going to hold them hovering just an inch or two off the floor, and then we're going to tap the opposite arm and leg to the floor. All right? So watch first, and then you can join. So we're going to lift the arms and legs, holding in our Superman position, and then we're going to tap right hand, left foot, and lift it back up. Left hand, right foot, lift it back up. So this is a progression of Superman. This is a tough one. It looks simple, but it is difficult to keep holding. All right, so this is 3. So if you need to go back to Superman's instead, you can. 4, we're going to 8. You got this. Keep breathing. Keep that chin tucked. 5. Just breathe normal on this one. Don't worry about inhales and exhales. 6. Good. Almost there. 7. Ooh, we're feeling it. Almost got the wrong foot and leg. 8 and 8. Good. Relax. You can rest that head on your towel and relax. Let's come on back into child's pose again because that was a back workout. Good job. Whew. All right, come on up. We are going to sit. Hope you're feeling good. This is a longer video, so we are doing a full-length workout with this one, getting everything done. All right, we're gonna sit up tall. Now, this exercise, or this next set of exercises we're gonna do, is going to be sitting. And so if you are unable to sit with your chest over your hips in this position with your knees straight, you do have options. This is where the towel can come in handy. So you could sit on your towel, and a lot of my clients need to sit on a towel. That is just a good thing. It just helps tilt those hips forward, helps release the hamstrings, so you're not holding in those hip flexors on these next few exercises. You also have the option to bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. That can also help loosen those and release those hip flexors so that you're not feeling it in the hip flexors. So we're working here on these next few exercises, we're working on spine mobility, working on using the abdominal muscles to do these moves. So it's up to you what you need, but most people do need to sit on a towel, and you'll feel the difference when you sit on that towel. Or you can fold up the edge of your mat and sit on that. That can help, or if you have a yoga block, that can work as well. So we're going to sit with our hands on our shoulders to start. We're just going to do some torso turns. So you're going to rotate your torso to one side, come back to center, and rotate to the other side. Good. And rotate one side and the other side. Just do a couple more of these, getting that spine going on these rotations. And exhale. Good. All right, release those hands down. Now, next we're gonna take what the Pilates exercise called saw. First we're gonna actually do our spine roll downs. Getting ahead of myself. So you wanna sit up nice and tall. The back is flat as if you're sitting up against the wall. Hands are in the center between your thighs there, and you're gonna roll your chin down, tuck your chin down, exhale all the way down. Stretching the spine. You'll feel the stretch in the back muscles. When it feels good, you're going to pause and breathe. And then you'll exhale, roll back up, stacking up your vertebrae one at a time, nice and tall. And do that again. Exhale, roll down, chin to your chest, roll it all the way down to the point which you feel comfortable. And when you feel that stretch in your back muscles, and then hold. then slowly roll back up, nice and easy. Good. All right, now we're going to take those arms out to the side, and we're going to do an exercise called saw. So you're going to sit up tall. We're going to take that torso twist again, rotating. Try to use your abdominal muscles to turn as much as you can. And then you're going to reach that opposite hand towards the foot. So you're going to reach, I'm reaching right hand to my left foot. Exhale, rolling down. And then inhale, coming back up. And return back to center. And we're going to do that to the other side. Rotate and twist, lengthening that spine. And then exhale, roll down. And inhale, coming up. And exhale, coming back to center. Good, let's do that again. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, back to center. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. And back to center. Good, and relax. Excellent, excellent. All right, so next we're gonna bring one foot in towards your leg here. We're just gonna take a nice little stretch. So I don't care how far you go down, but you wanna try to get a hip hinge action here. So we're working on opening those hamstrings, and you can have your hands by your side. We're gonna exhale, just hold and breathe. Opening up those hamstrings. Relax the neck and shoulders and breathe. And you generally want to hold stretches for about 30 seconds, maybe more, 60 seconds tops, depending on you and what feels good. And you should start to feel a release in those muscles the longer you hold the stretch. It shouldn't be uncomfortable, but you should feel a little stretch. And slowly come up. We're going to switch to the other leg while we're here. Let's do the other leg. Bring that foot in, sit up nice and tall. And take that hip hinge forward, not trying to roll the spine, just trying to get that lengthening in the back of the leg. Exhale, breathe. Almost like you're trying to reach your chest towards your foot. Breathe and release. Good, slowly come up. All right, so go ahead and set that towel to the side. We're gonna actually roll onto our side. We're gonna do a couple more Pilates exercises, and we'll finish with some stretching. So side lying work in Pilates, you have some options. Ideally, we're gonna keep our spine all neutral, nice and straight. But of course, that really depends on your comfort level. So if you're able to be all the way down on the ground, and here you can maybe use your towel to kind of prop your head a little bit, that's fine. But we don't want to be letting everything just hang and lay here. We're trying to stack the hips nice and straight, one on top of the other. And we're also imagining that we're trying to pull the side of the body up off the mat. So we're engaging the abdominals in and up and pulling up off the side of the mat. So you're not actually pulling your side off the mat, but that's the image that you want to think of. So we're engaging abdominals. Feet are slightly in front of me for a little bit of stability. Top hand down on the ground. All right, you have the option, if it's more comfortable to be propped up, that's fine. You can prop yourself up like this if it's more comfortable on your shoulder or your neck. All right, so from here, we're gonna just take that top leg, lift up, and we're gonna lower down almost together, but not quite, and then lift again. 2, and lower, and 3, and lower. And so you can lift the leg as high as you're comfortable going. It's up to you, but you want to try to keep those hips stacked nice and still, and everything is stable. 7, 8, we're doing 2 more. We're going to 10 on these. 9 and 10. Good, and then we're gonna rest a little bit, breathe, and our next move is circles. So we're gonna lift that foot up off the other foot, the bottom foot. We're gonna take heel circles. 1 direction, very small. 2, trying to keep everything still. 3, just moving that leg. 4, don't let the hips swing back and forth. 5, go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Good. All right, bend those knees. You should have felt that work happening in that outer thigh. We're gonna go to the other side. However you wanna get to the other side. We're gonna get back in our side lying position. You can prop your head or have your foot or your head and hand down. Engage those abdominals, belly in and up. So even though we're laying on our side, we're thinking of trying to engage all those abdominal muscles. Lift and lower. 1, 2, hips are stacked. 3, nice and stable. 4, 5, halfway there. 6, 7, you got this. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're taking small circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and other direction. 5, keep everything still. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Good job. Take a little stretch here. Reach out. Let those outer thighs stretch. You can draw that top knee up. Whew. And switch to the other side. Let the outer thigh stretch there. Exhale. Good. Nice work. And that concludes your workout. You did a great job today. And thanks for joining. Reach out to me if you need anything. And we'll see you next time. Bye.